Maria, grazie Davide. Buonasera a tutti. Well, I don't speak Italian, so don't worry. I'm Spanish, so but I can understand. So even probably if I speak in Spanish, probably you understand me better. So si digo hablo en español, me entiende posiblemente mejor. No, but don't stress for the translator. So I will speak in English. Sorry, in English for our international guests and even for our translator that be relaxed with that. This is really very interesting, this seminar, because we are talking about the new ways or new approach about the human resource management. But I missed that really we didn't pay attention in for me the most important element that this means the employee or the worker. So we talk about the leaders, we talk about organizations and new approaches, but we forgot to talk about the employees or our workers. This is our, the storm, right? We are working. So I would like to concentrate to talk about this the work. So this is our main objective in this use. So human resource management. Okay, we have new leaders, but I focus my speech on the workers. And in the case of the workers, I would like to show you. Let's talk about a model about the entrepreneurial behavior of entrepreneurial workers and entrepreneurial employees. I will try to explain about this model where you can see. So we have some outcomes like this one. High work, well-being, work climate, index of voluntary turnover, like this. And to get this these outcomes, we need to have high committed, involved employees. So, and to get this one, we need to probably improve empowerment and entrepreneurship behavior. So let's talk about that. In the case of the entrepreneurship, we are talking about the workers feel that they have the freedom and support to create new products, service, something like this. This idea came exactly from the entrepreneurial activity or entrepreneurial theories, and in this case we are not talking about the people that create a business, we are talking about the people that working into the business and how to transform, how to create entrepreneurs inside the company. So in this case, if we take, for example, the theories about the entrepreneurial activity, entrepreneurial behavior, we can see that really we have two processes that we call the push and pull process. So to create entrepreneurs, probably we need to pay attention in two big processes like a pull and push process. Okay, we will talk in just a few minutes about the push and pull process. When we talk about the push process, to motivate people to be entrepreneurial behavior, probably we can take into account the socio-demographic variables. In the socio-demographic variables, probably we have some traits like maturity, personal task, or some vicarious learning or socialization. Probably in this case, we cannot create a new man or a new woman, but probably we can, this kind of variables say us that probably we need to care about our selection process. This is really the most important phases when we are trying to manage our human research. Probably sometimes we lose and we think that this is another phases in our human research management, but this is the most important. We are incorporating new elements in our company. So, but what happens when we have our workers? We cannot change it. Well, we can do it, but really it's not a good idea to do it. Another traits, psychosocial variables that are very important to improve the entrepreneurial activity or behavior is some psychosocial variables like locus control, need of achievement, attitudes. I don't know I don't want to spend a lot of time in these variables. I think it's not probably the forum to talk about that. But just to see, okay, one need of achievement is like people that concern for excellence, people that love to or are motivated to see change or to get change and difficult tasks. So like some people are they have more high need of achievement, and other people they don't need they have a lower need of achievement. Okay, this is a trait, a personality trait, so I don't explain too much about. It's the same about the locus of control. That this is the rotor theory that classifies people between people that really perceive that the elements are around him or her depends of their own behavior, and another people that perceive that don't belong or don't depend of the surroundings or not depend of their own effort and depends of the surroundings or another aspects. Well, in any case, what happens when we have our workers with these personality traits or with this vicarious learning? Well, what we can do it? Well, in this case, probably we need to pay attention, concentrate in the empowerment process. When we talk about empowerment, this is really a very important variable that they became from the idea that people can increase effectiveness when we give them the power. This is the opposite from the classic theory when they suppose that, okay, we try to concentrate all the power, and if I give power to my employees, probably I lose my own power. But the theory says exactly the opposite. So if you give power to your employees, your powerful is increasing also. And probably the effectiveness also is increasing. Okay. Anyway, there is not, well, the meaning of the empowerment is created, it was born in the 19th, in the past century. And it's not there is a lack of consensus about what exactly means the meaning. Even some authors say, okay, empowerment is an old concept, it's like leadership, or it's a new form about autonomy, delegation, something like this. Any case, independently of the meaning or the concept of empowerment. We can say that really we are in the age of empowerment because the advantage of the empowerment you can see there is increasing the perception of meaningful work, the satisfaction, innovation, creativity, initiative. So some authors say that okay, now we are in the age of the empowerment. I love this sentence, the age of empowerment, because it remembers me like the song. You remember the age of Aquarius? Huh? When the moon, you remember? So it's it's similar than the age of Aquarius is the age of empowerment. So, well, I throw you a very good situation. Probably for you is not new. Some of ideas that I told, right? So we need to improve empowerment, because if our employees are more empowerment, the effectiveness is better, and probably the rates of turnover, absentees are lower. Okay. But I will to be honest with myself and with you. Empowerment or the entrepreneurial activity, or entrepreneurial workers has some potential problems. We need to be honest with ourselves. So, and we need to care about this this idea. What is the disadvantage about empowerment? Okay, if we don't manage correctly the empowerment, we can have some problems like discouragement, insatisfaction, burnout, turnover, and some psychosocial risks. One of them can be, for example, work intensification. Sometimes we improve workers to be more effective, but the consequence in the medium or long term is that they have a work intensification, and probably some problems. Technical knowledge, competitive at workplace, changing the work organization. For example, in the case of work intensification, one of the tendencies currently is that we are intensifying the tasks in our works. It's like more by less. We are adding new tasks, we are adding new works at the same price, at the same salary. We are improving the responsibility in our employees, but we are increasing the functions that we require them. But the salary is the same, but the hierarchical position is the same. We can say, okay, no, we are improving our employees, we are doing empowerment. No, really, we are intensifying the work. So, and the problem is that we are requiring each time more psychosocial demands. People feel that my organization is requiring more and more and more and more. Any one of them identify with that? No? It's just in my case. Probably most of them we are suffering something like this. Another problem is the competitiveness. In this case, companies, some of my previous speakers told about that. Companies are focusing on the achievements, to get achievements in a short term. And the problem is that in this competitiveness climate that companies are creating, we are disappearing a lack, or we are disappearing the solidarity between among people. They are not supporting at work, where each one is a competitive from the co-worker. So we are breaking the social climate, we are breaking the teams and the work. And it has terrible consequences, like we will see later. And another interesting thing in the case of the empowerment is that sometimes we are doing some changes in the work organization, and this change we do with a good intention, with a good sense, but it has a boomerang effect. So we try to increase the effectiveness of the company, but at the end we are losing effectiveness. So, and this is the problem, you know, that the companies are each time more doing more and more changes, organizational changes, and we are demanding that our workers adapting to the new changes. And the problem is when the change is continuous, when we don't stop the change, each change is followed with another change. The problem is that people really is exhausted to change. Each one needs time to interact the change. We cannot to change continuously. Each time we need, in each change we need phases to change. One phase to exercise the change, one phase of stability, and we can change it later. So the problem is the changes are each time more quickly, and the problem is that people really feel exhaustion. People really feel that I'm tired, change to change. And probably the one consequence is a big resistance to change. So what is the consequence for these elements? Well, some consequences are the increase of anxiety, new ways of stress. Before I told with Amelia about a new concept, the techno stress is when the machine produces as stress. Well, I don't say, for example, computer. You can see that. So this is one consequence. Another is emotional fatigue in our workers. So we are trying to increase effectiveness, but at the same time, probably, or we have the risk to create emotional fatigue or exhaustion. And all these things probably can produce burnout or turnover process. I don't want to be pessimistic. I just want to draw empowerment is good. It's a good way. We need to have entrepreneurial employees, but we need to design in the best way who was or how was or how are the best the best design in our change process. And this is so that the reason, because we need to design in a good way, and we need to the advisor from people from psychology or from human resource management that advise us to design a good change, because change by change is not a good idea. We can have some problems like I described. I don't. I have more, but I try to adjust. I don't know if I have more slides, so that's right. So, okay, thank you. Grazie mille. Muchas gracias.